Alright, welcome back. We are playing Great Qing in Victoria 3. Last episode, we fought the Opium Wars against Great Britain, and we won. We are going to be taking an unpause here and taking a look at things. In terms of what we're doing now is we are just going to be chilling because we want to get rid of this Opium Crisis event line before the truce with Great Britain ends. So we have a 5-year truce with Great Britain. They can't declare war on us for 5 years, but if we go to war with someone else, like let's say vassalize Burma, which is something we want to do, what will happen is we will get stuck in that war, and then Great Britain, this event will not tick down, and then Great Britain can just declare war on us again and go after us again, and we kind of want to avoid that. So we're just going to be chilling. We're going to be being chilling, as it were. And so that's kind of the name of the game right now. We could probably up the speed a little bit. We are researching atmospheric engine. So that is why we are making coal ahead of time, because all this coal will be used for the atmospheric engines for all of the iron, which will plummet the price of iron, which will make our construction way cheaper. We can actually probably just add more construction right now. We want to add new construction centers and then switch them over. But we are going to focus these construction centers in areas that have a lot of peasants and do not currently have construction centers. We'll notice it's mainly in southeast China. And that's probably a good amount of construction centers. We will also, now that we have this war over with China, we're going to delete a lot of our military so that we don't have to pay as much in military wages. As 445 is an enormous amount of military, we're just going to delete every single mill that does not have 20 guys in it, because then it is a little bit easier to organize later. That's kind of why we're doing it like that. There's perhaps a different heuristic you could use that might be better than just deleting all the small ones, but we're going to delete all the small ones. We needed them in order to fight against Great Britain. We will not need them long term, especially once we start getting better PMs, because we are currently just using, you know, cannons and our fists. What's it called? Like disorganized infantry or whatever it is. And so now this will free up a lot of money for just having more construction, because we just want to kind of just have an enormous amount of construction. We will also make 3 unis here to get the university event to kind of speed things along in terms of our social track, and because we will need qualifications there eventually. The one I'm talking about is, let's see, where is it? Establish a university. This will give an event which allows you to kind of speed up empiricism, which is in the social society tech. We will just get a bit of a bump on empiricism. And so that's pretty good. Maybe it's not the most important to get done immediately, but we are kind of just chilling a little bit until this finishes. I suppose we will need more tools once that finishes as well. These are on auto expand, perfect. As are these. We have to watch kind of carefully the infrastructure here. We're going to quickly like hit the cap, but that's kind of, it's not too bad. We are encouraging manufacturing here. We might encourage manufacturing in southern Anhui as well, because they also have the same situation where they have a ton of arable land, which allows them to migrate a lot more people there. Because the modifier for overcrowding is based on arable land capacity. And I think we will check the price of coal. It's not too depressed. It is a little bit depressed. We definitely want more coal mines though, so we will switch over. I think we actually also want a few more of these too. We will just add where there's a lot of infrastructure, or a lot of infrastructure and peasants. There we go. Okay. And we are getting ready. Once this finishes, we are going to switch like most of our construction, if not all of it, over to iron frame buildings, which will cost a lot. So then we'll be running a deficit, but we will build into that deficit. We'll be just fine. And so it's kind of just a little bit of chilling. We could maybe start a war to like vassalize these guys, but I don't want to do it yet. Because I don't want this opium crisis event to stop ticking, because what we maximally don't want is another war with Great Britain after we've deleted a ton of our military. Which they kind of lose interest in you once this event goes through all the way, so we will just kind of sit and wait and twiddle our thumbs to that extent, but we have other stuff to do, namely industrializing. These also do give us a good amount of extra innovation. And we get the established university then. We will use this to get extra research on empiricism. Or we could do medical degrees. I guess medical degrees is a little bit better. Normally I already have medical degrees by the time I get that event, so I forgot that you can sometimes get medical degrees. But yeah, we will switch to society tech once we get atmospheric engine. Probably going for, I guess currency standards would be best, because per capita taxation is better, and we can try and pass per capita taxation immediately, but the big thing we're going for is central archives so that we can, you know, work our way towards having enough of this to start enacting institutions and also switching to agrarianism, because agrarianism will be a pretty big game, because then we will start getting investment pool transfer from the enormous amount of rural buildings we just have at the start of the game. We'll actually switch this to that, and we can switch the butchering tools. We're gonna need more tooling workshops though. Why don't we put down another place making tools? Guangxi seems like fine enough. And we are working on things. Come on, come on, come on. Faster, faster, faster. The main thing is we are going to be turning on atmospheric engine on 2 fronts. And that is going to be whoop, on the coal and then on the iron as well. Notably, coal's not very profitable right now. We haven't turned on the lights in a lot of places. We're just anticipating that we are going to need a lot of coal for this atmospheric engine. So we're going to want to swap everything over as quickly as possible once we get that going. And it takes coal, so that's hence the production of coal before we actually need it. Yeah, it's dirt cheap. Tools are coming down. That is important as well, because atmospheric engine does take tools, if I recall correctly. And we will switch the landmines over in a sec, I guess. Or these have to ramp up. We'll just switch them over now. I think that'll be fine, and then we need to decide what tech we want, and we already discussed we want currency standards, so we can enact per capita taxation, which will be a little bit better, or we can go for it. It is going to be a little bit of painful to pass, but we're currently not really working on anything because institutions are so expensive. Alright, now that we have this iron way cheaper though, we are going to swap over a really, really big one to iron frame. And then once that ticks, this should drop by like 30k or whatever. Yep. All this checks out. And then we'll start switching other ones over. And construction is starting to come alive a bit. We'll actually just switch them all over. Yeah, this is fine. Now, let's take a look at our market. Are we running shortages? We are running a shortage of tools. So, luckily we are producing some tools, but we're going to need some more on top of this. They should employ pretty quick here. I said they should employ. There we go. We're running a negative, but generally speaking, running a negative is not really much of a problem, and the construction allows you to kind of just build into it in terms of what's efficient. Is coal also expensive? Coal's not even really too expensive, but we don't mind it. We are going to need just a ton more iron mines, though. So again, looking at the infrastructure and peasants, once we have railroads, observing the infrastructure won't be too much of a problem, but we don't want to build over is kind of the main thing. And we did get an event, secret societies. We don't mind them being powerful, and we don't want to hurt them, so there we go. Secret societies kind of seems... I've only seen this event with China, but I've also not been playing too much, kind of in anticipation of 1.1 releasing, so that's the kind of the situation here. Country subjugated, oh no. Opium crisis, please. Our infamy decay has disappeared, or sorry, we've gotten rid of all of our infamy that we got from expelling the Portuguese ministers. Politician died. This is always important because it affects stuff you can pass. So our Confucian scholar got rid of, and now is an abolitionist, which actually makes, maybe we should make a play on serfdom here, abolishing serfdom. So I think that's, now that we have the abolitionist. So let's take a quick look. We want rural folk, literati, and the religious guys in the government. So let's take a quick look here. Reform government. God. Doesn't budge one bit. We do have a lot of extra from our building. So we will go this, and we will say, hey, serfdom, let's not. Now, there's a good chance this kind of just backslides, but this is okay. We're not really trying to pass a lot of laws through right now anyways, and so not too big a deal. Mainly not trying to pass laws because institutions cost 3.5k bureaucracy, and we would rather build up our construction quite a bit before focusing on bureaucracy, and so this is kind of why we're doing it like this. Medical degrees is spreading, excellent. We do want to research a lot of this level 1 tech before going for central archives. We don't have to super rush it. We're going to start building a few more universities as well. Why don't we kick a couple of these into the back of the queue in our areas that have a lot of pops in our capital. Southern Anhui and Jiangxi seem to be the two highest population areas. They also notably have like the most arable land capacity by a pretty big margin here. And I think we should be able to switch over some more now that our stuff is adjusted to glassworks. Let's see. Yeah, let's switch them all to leaded glass. I think we get serfdom abolished just right off the bat. A little bit of a lucky tick for us, which will make the scholar jet rate quite a bit weaker, which long-term is something that we want, although we do want to keep them in government for a while, as long as we have monarchy and autocracy at least. But now that it's abolished, let's take a look at what we can get rid of. We can go agrarianism. We want to wait until we have central archives, because this will put us at a huge deficit there. We could switch over to professional army, is kind of the other one we want to go for. But let's take a quick look how mad at us the scholar officials are. Why don't we just wait for this to cool down? They have a negative approval, and part of it is because we just switched to no serfdom, -10. Once we get rid of that, we'll be switching over to some other stuff. So it's kind of we'll let them cool down a little bit. Notably, this made us take in a lot less money. Interesting. But atmospheric engine completes. Oh, I thought we were researching it directly. What? Oh, okay, the event. I was so confused. It's like, we didn't know. I was very, very confused. I always go for the tech on these, but don't necessarily have to. I suppose we're taking in less taxes somewhere from the serfdom getting abolished. Oh, no. What it's from is, it's like, why are we making less money? Instead of, we are no longer getting one of these. So we're no longer getting... Well, no. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. Okay, but they're mad at us, so... That'll be how things are for a little bit. We are kind of cranking. We have 16 million reserves and unrealized taxes, quite a bit, because, well, we have to tax 360 million people. So, we're getting close to the point where we want to start building into that, though. Alright, let's start automating some of these buildings that are already here. I suppose once we automate, we can probably fly a little bit. And we are focusing on trying to get industries, like, tall in areas that kind of only have one industry is going to be our main heuristic. Because we want to get we want to maximize the throughput bonus we're getting. But also, for now, we do have to be concerned about limited infrastructure. We don't want to just set everything on auto-expand, but we almost want to, so there's that. Opium crisis is about 50% done. So we are kind of pulling our ways out. Man, are we getting... We're getting so many loyalists from increases in standard... Yeah, that makes sense, because we got rid of the 2. The -2 from the Opium event, the Opium Wars. But 50k from high legitimacy is nothing to scoff at. Interesting. And we're going to be pretty aggressive at just adding construction as we get to positive. We can't really do anything with the extra authority, so we'll just do that. I think we're actually going to push for agrarianism and just hope it doesn't pass on the first tick. I just clicked the same thing twice. Because we are building some amount of... yeah, we'll let you gamble. We are building some amount of government admins, and we'll just add some more. Normally, government admins are kind of just an increase in cost, but in this situation, they're much less an increase. Well, we want to kind of keep them down a little bit, so we'll just do that. And we'll just pass laws faster for a little bit. Alright, we are going to switch over all those PMs. And we'll switch one of these, or a couple of these out here that only have the cows to auto-expand. Notably, at the start, you have a bunch of land you can integrate, but we're not integrating it because we would rather have the bureaucracy. But we do have quite a bit of land that you can integrate at the very start. Too big a penalty here, so we will swap off just this. And we will go for per capita taxation when we can here. And we do not instantly get our events, so that's good. I think we will just take the enactment chance. And we will look in social tech for anything kind of useful. That might allow us to do one more consumption tax. We'll just put the consumption tax in now, even though we have a temp modifier. And we can build more construction. We can also decrease taxes. I think we just want to try and pull ahead and build through because we just have so many pops that we can employ that I think a just general heuristic, it's going to be better to do that. Oop, I forgot my friend. So Shaozu is the only territory you have that has natural harbors, which gives the shipbuilding throughput bonus. So you do want to put your shipbuilding there. Your shipbuilding. It sounded like something else. And are we having any infrastructure problems yet? Not yet. But we do want to go railroads kind of early-ish as a result of that. Potential. And let's take a look. We are going to need a lot more. We're already building in Southern Italy. We're going to need a lot more government admins just across the board to boost this here. And so that's why we are currently researching that. How much prestige do we have? This event is really good if you don't have a very high prestige country, but we already have a lot of high prestige, so we will just take the enactment chance. And we will assume this goes through next time, so it's important for us to get these government admins up, because agrarianism will be nice for a few things. The investment pool contribution will be incredibly nice. We'll be allowed to build a lot more, but it will be a bit painful on the bureaucracy, at least initially. So we will also build just a few more somewhere else as well. Just building them in stacks of 5, really. And then, sure. Yeah, just such an enormous population at the start of the game. It creates for an interesting start because you can, focus on expansion early on. And not have to worry about having like a limited workforce at all. We will put down a food industry here and set it to auto expand, and we will put down a chem plant here. We're going to double check that they're incorporated. They are, and we're going to set you to auto. Well, yeah, we'll set you to auto expand. Because once they get up and going, we should be able to have irrigation on everyone. Normally, I would kind of try and tamp the landowners down by keeping the price of fertilizer as high as possible, but I'm not going to worry about that in this run because we are going to have our landowners in government for quite some time, and the landowners don't really oppose a lot of, well, we want the literati to be more powerful than them, so we'll just take the enactment chance. We want the landowners to actually be, we don't really care that they're super strong because they don't. Well, first of all, we've gotten rid of serfdom abolished, but they also don't really. We don't have to. They don't stonewall us as much as like normal landowners do in terms of a lot of things, and as long as we have them in government with our absolute empire, Chad, I'm thinking we can just kind of have this 100 legitimacy because we have. Let's see, where is it? We have monarchy, which gives plus 30, plus 20 from having had a state government. We get plus 30 from autocracy, and we get plus 20 from our building here. So it seems to me we just have an absolute minimum cap of 70, so which is wild. Hopefully this transition is a little bit comfortable. And we are getting ready to kind of get our first war going on, because the opium crisis is almost over. And then we will look to expand a bit. Opium crisis. Agrarianism now. Alright, we get agrarianism. And look at this. Just instantly kind of pops up. I don't think it should pop up that high instantly. Let's take a look. So the investment pool, it's not even giving us the transfer yet. So the income didn't pops up, but did the expenses pop down? Interesting. But now we're getting quite a bit from investment pool transfer, or we will be. It's a little bit free, and now we will go for our per capita taxation, which will make the landowner, the scholar gentry, upset with us, but not super upset with us, and it will make us, less money right now, actually. So we actually won't do that yet. Normally that one's much more money, but we're currently pretty agrarian, so I guess that makes sense, and we don't have too much. Our capitas are not doing a whole lot, so I guess that all makes sense. We do want to switch over to professional army, though. And that will make the scholar officials mad, so we might hold off for a little bit. And so... we can't outlaw dissent yet. But what we will need to do is just crank up construction a whole lot now. And this did not cost anywhere near as much as I remembered it costing. So we are actually going to switch this over to... oh, we already have colonization. Okay, so we are actually going to try and pass the... what? No one supports this? Why can't we go for it? The armed forces support it? Are the armed forces not in government? Okay. We'll take the rural folk out, because they will oppose it. And we will go for colonial exploitation. I think is the one we want. Starting wages, subsistence output. So this will change the way they work a little bit in unincorporated states. Okay, we're gonna do it. Ooh, okay. We had to wait a tick. See this minus 2 point... yeah, we can't do this yet. This minus 2.4k is a result of us switching over to agrarianism. So what we will prioritize here is getting a lot more government admins. I remembered it being a lot more painful. And then I was like, wow, where was the pain? Here's the pain. The pain has arrived. Okay, and then I think we can afford to build more construction centers, because once they kick in, we will... faith and reason. I guess this depends on how pleased they are with us right now. Scholar, let's see, the literati are not as happy with us, so we will do the fusion scholar minus. Okay. And we are trying to get our authority, or bureaucracy back up. I love bureaucracy. Wait, democracy. Wait, bureaucracy. Yeah, this investment pool transfer is a big deal. This is just like 26k for free, basically. Interesting. I'm surprised we could use it on what we currently have in our queue. I thought you had to use it just for rural stuff, which is fine. But yeah, we're going for it here. Probably want a few more of these to be well set up for boom booms later, for when we get nitroglycerin. Although it's not quite a priority, I would think. Set you to auto-expand. Yeah, such pain. Huge amount of tax waste off the back of this. So that's why we started, like, preempted it, because otherwise it would have been 4 or 5k. Even this 2k is, like, kind of painful. I remembered it being smaller, but it is what it is. I think banking might be better than mass comm. But we're so close to mass comm, and mass comm does give us authority. With that extra authority, we will actually be able to put in another consumption tax. So yeah, we actually want that. Trade agreement with Russia, finally. Alright. Let's double check to see if we can import wood from Russia. Are we already importing it? We're the #1 producer of it too. Wow. Wow. I guess we'll delete a lot of these trade routes. We are importing a lot from Russia, that is what is going on. Let's see if we can protect our iron and import iron. Just from the British. We don't want to do that. I don't think hardwood's going to be expensive in our market yet. Mass comm gets unlocked. Tools are just really expensive. So with the mass communications unlock, we can add another tax. And we'll go banking. We could go right for Central Archives, but I want to use the Central Archives bump to pass colonization. Could start researching colonization now. This is going to take us quite a bit more of these, I think. Should probably try and build on the coast a little bit. We should need those too. And what is the price of iron in our market? Can we build more construction is the question. I think we can build a little bit more. Oop. Didn't put that at the top. That's fine. We'll just have it in there randomly. It's probably too much. Whoa, what's with this 120k? Oh, it's investment pool transfer because some was stocking up on stuff we couldn't pay for, and now we can pay for it, so we will have pretty intermittent transfer from the investment pool, because they only pay for some stuff with agrarianism. It's not the majority of stuff. They pay for agriculture, plantations, ranches, and infrastructure. So as long as we're building that. What in here is considered infrastructure, though? Is the government admins considered infrastructure? I guess. But we can support a little bit more building. Opium crisis is almost over. We notably still have pretty backward military. Let's see, are we not spreading line infantry? We are, so I think we actually want to, in the capital, make some armors industries. How many can we support with infrastructure? Not a lot. I think the other place I want to make it is here, but can't support a lot with the infrastructure here either. So we'll actually do it in the capital. We'll do it up to level 5. But we're going to add ports to support that. I like that. Generally, you want the arms in the capital anyway, so we're going to start trying to pass colonial affairs with the hope that we do not get it on the first tick and we just get a plus enactment chance, because that will be very painful if we get it on the first tick in terms of bureaucracy. We get line infantry, so we will be swapping over to that somewhat soon. Actually, we could swap now in some places, and then start importing. I think I like that. We gotta wait for the Monday. Did we get the Monday? We did. We get import from Austrians and the Russians. Some small arms. And Opium crisis is over. So we have the end of addiction. And let us... I don't think we want the authority, I think we want the minimum wealth. Which will get a bunch of loyalists. We have a bunch of loyalists, but the authority will leave us eventually, so we'll just take the wealth. And hope that this colonial exploitation does not go well, I guess. why don't we switch over some other to line infantry, and then make them our vassal. Now, hopefully Great Britain... we still have a truce with Great Britain. We do. Oh, also, we can remove the opium ban, and now we just have a bunch of extra authority. I think I'm going to use it on consumption taxes for now. And then I'm thinking who I want to try and vassalize. Probably Burma. But there's a decent chance we get kind of an awkward war. Can't turn them into our subjects. We could just annex Tibet. And we will not get any intervention. So let's annex Tibet. And we're going to mobilize our entire military. In the hopes that they back down. But if they don't, so be it. Probably don't need to move everyone to the front unless someone joins them, in which case we'll move the rest. Actually, we can move them. It's fine. Not a big deal. And you know what? Paper has to be just insanely expensive. Ooh, Sikhs. We would not mind... Well, first of all, we'll make them our rival, because they hate us now anyways. But I think we wouldn't mind making them into a puppet. Ah, we can't. We could liberate Kashmir from them. If we wanted. We could just conquer Kashmir. That's a lot of infamy. I think we'll just take war reps in an open market. Decent chance I think they would just back down though, and we will move our biggest guy to that front. And our smallest guy. And we've almost built through our bureaucracy deficit for now. We hope this colonial exploitation does not pass and we just get a positive tick. Because we are going to be researching central archives after banking. We have almost the entire malice removed. And, yeah. It doesn't... let's see. We'll take the minus enactment time, because we don't even want it to pass super fast. And we are going to have a huge need for paper. And we'll let this tick. And that'll be good. I think it's a decent chance they just back down here, because they are max fearful, but they do have gold reserves. I guess we should have maybe added more reserves, but that's fine. I wonder why we couldn't vassalize Sikh. They must be a subject of someone else currently. Tibet back down. City of Plenty. Let them celebrate. Okay. Now we might go for Burma. We could let this decay a little bit. Where is it? We have a little bit of infamy, so it's no rush. Generally, you just kind of always want infamy decaying. And once we get our investment pool transfer back, this'll... It's effectively a minus 30k deficit, because we are building up 30k on the investment pool. have a bunch of paper coming through. What is expensive in our market? I think tools were expensive. Yeah, tools are expensive. So... yeah, you're already running some infrastructure problems. Painful. We kind of want to get to railroads. This is the slower one, so we'll concede some points. It's the slower and steadier one. Are going to be running, it's going to cost us 3.5k once we get the institution, so... it's taking quite fast, and the reason it's taking so fast is because the change to legitimacy with 50% enactment time, I completely, maybe we shouldn't even be going for it right now, but, yeah, pain when we pass it, I suppose. We'll put some more of those in the queue. Yeah, and they're running, we need infrastructure. Not any coastal places. I guess we could try and build tools in a coastal place somewhere that isn't currently building anything. They're not building too much. But we could always build ports to increase infrastructure on the coast. We cannot do that with other places. Obviously. Suppose we actually don't even need to bolster the armed forces for too much longer. We could stop that. We do want them for... actually, no, we want them for professional army. So we're gonna keep for a little bit. I'm gonna take a look at the approval of them. I think we're okay pissing them off a little bit. Although maybe we don't want the thing to pass as quick, so maybe that's a bit of a mistake. I think we'll delete the new mills we got here. Just keep nice, even numbers. And vassalize Burma now. And just hope Great Britain doesn't join. Actually, we'll wait like 1 or 2 months. So that by the time the war starts, we will have fully transferred over to the new PM. I think we are going to need more military. We're already working on that. Okay. What was your problem? Why aren't you... oh, we like just finished you? Okay, fair enough. And we're not even having a shortage of them? Okay, perfect. So now we'll make you our vassal. And now we have... we won't have to start a war for a bit because we have a huge ticking thing. We'll mobilize all the generals because we just hope he backs down and gives it to us for free. We don't want him to pull a little friendly in. We will only assign 3 guys to the front because I think there's a good chance he pulls a little friendly in. Happy not to see the UK super leaning towards him. We are running quite a big deficit now. I think it's fine. If someone else joins, we might conscript. Let's just conscript now. We have plenty of workers in these areas, so conscripting is not as bad as it normally is, I think. Okay, we're super fine with that law advancement. Are you having trouble pulling someone in? It's good for us. Small arms are at a nice price. So now we will go... We really want to go railroads, but... It's 2 techs away. We're just going to go Central Archives. We do want the colonization to start ramping up. And ramping up by quite a bit. I suppose... What is it? Why is sulfur expensive in our market? Is it someone else using it? I don't think we have any PMs. We're using any PMs that use sulfur right now. But we'll just do this. Because I think paper bleaching is somewhat soon once we get mechanical tools, so... Oh yeah, there's no way this pops off, so we're just gonna have Burma and a nice chill time. What? Okay. Rare to see them with the minus 75 mobilization difference actually go for the war, but I suppose it's not too bad for us. I think we're going to go to Southern Anhui and also add to them the decree. And this will be kind of our centralized hub of production. Mainly because they will have the largest population pool. Ugh, pain. I think we're actually just gonna deal with this. We're gonna deal with it by just building a whole bunch of buildings. Rather than getting central archives, which is not how we wanted to do it, but we also kind of passed that a little bit faster than we were anticipating. So, why don't we actually do this? I think these will all need it. And when they're on the coast, we can actually build infrastructure for them. Because we need the railroads too. You will need some more of these as well. And this war is coming along swimmingly. Surprised how fast we pushed there. We do have better PM, so there's that. I'm gonna switch over. I think... Oh, we already have everyone up first, right? We do not. We're gonna switch over. I think hardwood, yeah, is more profitable now. We're not using all that softwood for construction anymore. Definitely can't afford that. Alright, perfect. And everyone in this area just imports from us because they don't have regions, or they don't have interest in area for arms where they can import it from. Do we have unproductive trade routes? No. We're gonna import a little bit from these guys. Because we don't want to produce the iron as much ourselves if we can avoid it. Because we'd rather build the industrial goods ourselves. Yeah, the main reason for this technology shift is I think we gotta look to getting railroads faster, and also we don't have all the tier 1s here, so we do have a little bit of a malice. We have to takes 3 years, so 36 months, versus one of these takes only 28 months, so it's an 8-month difference from having all the tier 1s already. So plus I thought in 3 years we could get it just by building admins instead in 3 years, and we would want to pump up colonial exploitation anyways. But we have colonial exploitation. What am I doing? We can build colonies now. That's the whole point. Okay. There we go. Clearing this down here. Herpa derpa. And we vassalized Burma. Perfect. We'll establish in Hokkaido and Sakura. Could do collabs too, but we don't have the tech for it yet. We'll just hold off. Just colonizing all the places that do not have the decrease from malaria. And now, just a ton of government admins. Maybe actually just set all of our paper. Well, I don't want to set all of our paper to auto-expand. We do need a lot of paper, though. So we're going to focus on where it's already kind of tallish. In order to try and get max throughput bonus. And we'll put a couple of those, we kicked those to the top of the queue, we'll put a couple in each of those at the bottom of the queue as well. Here we'll just go all the way to 21, because we can build more infrastructure there. More peas. Okay. Embargo us. Rude. We do want to wait for our infamy to tick down before doing any big wars. Although we could do a little small war towards Landfang, make them our vassal. This costs almost no infamy. We'll mobilize everyone. This makes it so they're much more likely to back down quickly. Which we would definitely prefer, because we definitely don't want France to join them. Suppose if they get independence, this isn't the worst. This is probably a bad war to declare, actually. We don't really have the navy to support this type of thing. But we'll see if we can get it through or not. France sides with them, and what happened to the play? And they give in at the same time? Landfang back down, okay. That's good for us. I don't think we win with France on our side. That's wild. And look how fast this colonization is going. It's going super fast because we have colonization speeds based off pop. We just have an enormous pop, so you just have such an enormous capacity to colonize as Great Britain, or sorry, not as Great Britain, as Great Qing. The Great or Great. I do think it's the strongest start in the game. Like, look at this. We're just flying. In order to do that, we will need to make a port. That's something. We'll make a port there, and also down here. Oop. Down here. Just kind of kick that at the bottom. I'm gonna take a quick look. What we have is our port system. Yeah, everything is just a regular port. Alright, I think I'm going to call it a session here. During this session, we got rid of the Opium Wars event. We also vassalized Burma, and we vassalized a Lanfang. It's kind of our main things. We enacted, let's see, what is it? We enacted agrarianism, which kind of was a bit painful in terms of bureaucracy. Same with colonial exploitation, but now we're thriving. As it were. We can go for this now, but again, it's not going to be profitable yet, so we're kind of just going to chill. We do want to do professional army. We don't want to piss off the scholar officials too much, which they actually won't get, so we're going to kick this in there for later. But the main story is finishing the Opium Wars event and getting a couple subjects. Anyways, if you like this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube algorithm stuff, and have a good day.